YouTuber Jake Paul put another former UFC fighter on his list of boxing victories. Early this Sunday, August 6, 2023, in Dallas, USA, the problem boy did not fall for Nate Diaz's provocations and defeated his rival by unanimous decision of the judges, 98-91, 97-92, 98-91. Previously, Jake Paul had already beaten Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, twice, and Anderson Silva, all with successful passages in the UFC. With the result, Jake Paul reached his 8th victory as a professional in the noble art, for by knockout and only one defeat. On the other hand, Nate Diaz debuts in the ring with defeat. In the first moves, Paul showed that he would not give soup to bad luck. Bigger and taller, Problem Boy combined head strikes with crosses and hooks to Nate's waistline. The knockout was close to happening in the first few moves, when a right cross went through the void, but the left blow went in full and rocked the former UFC fighter. In the second round, Nate Diaz lost in the fight, even threatened to take down, but hugged Paul to avoid being hit. Jake was still in more danger, however. Nate responded to attacks with blows without much technique, but with danger. If you are enjoying the content, don't miss any news and help our channel to grow. Subscribe to the channel for more information. Paul controlled the fight in the third round, but showed the ability to dodge Diaz's tackles and counterattack with precision. On an overhand from Nate, Jake made the dodge and put a beautiful attack on the waistline. In the final seconds of the partial, the ex-UFC fighter still connected some short blows, but the YouTuber left the range of action. Diaz tried to keep the momentum going early in the fourth round. However, Paul soon left the range of action and began to spin around the ring to control the distance. When Diaz managed to shorten the distance, he was dangerous on 2 occasions, even with Jake always well closed, protecting his head. Nate began to grow in the dispute from the 5th round and even let his guard down at times. But he looked tired in the fucking partial. In a short exchange, a right cross sent Diaz to the canvas and the count was opened. The former UFC fighter returned to the fight, pretending to be tired and trying to endanger his rival in unpretentious attacks. Apparently recovered from the knockdown, Nate returned to prove his opponent in the 6th round. He let his guard down a few times and threw some punches at close range. However, more experienced in the noble art, Jake Paul controlled his rival, attacked in important moments and stayed safe. History repeated itself in the 7th round. Nate Diaz walked on top of Jake Paul, who moved laterally and connected the best attacks on the way out, without giving the former UFC fighter a chance. Diaz showed courage, but could not bring danger to the YouTuber. Willing to try to make up the difference, Nate came to the all or nothing in the 8th partial. He took risks to shorten the distance and, even receiving some attacks, managed to get close and connect good attacks. In the final seconds, Diaz rocked Paul. In provocation, at the end of the partial, he even glued his head to Jake's. Even with the age difference, Diaz is 10 years older, Nate was spanning physical fitness. He even provoked, lowered his guard, walked with his back to his rival. However, Paul seemed not to be shaken and continued with an efficient boxing. Once again, in the final seconds, the ex-UFC fighter landed good strikes and sent the crowd into a frenzy. With a difficult situation on the judges' scorecards, Diaz abused the provocations at the beginning of the last partial. Paul took the opportunity and opened up, putting in good attacks. Nate only provoked until the last 30 seconds, when he went on the attack, but without much danger.